Hey guys, Probable 1701 here. Today we're going to talk about sequels that are so not good that sometimes they actually hurt the original movie. You ever seen that? A sequel so good that sometimes, or if not the original movie, they at least hurt the predecessor, like maybe it's the third or fourth movie in a series and it makes the second or third one look bad. Sequels so bad they damage the brand and the movies before them. We're going to look first at the Aliens franchise with Alien 3. Alien 3 is so bad that it hurts Aliens, the second movie, because I love Aliens. Alien and Aliens are both masterpieces. They're great movies with a good cast, great cinematography, great directing, great writing. Aliens 3 is garbage. It has some good stuff going in it, but the decision at the beginning to kill Newt and Hicks off just right off the bat pretty much kills the movie for me, because the whole point of Aliens is Newt is kind of Ripley's surrogate daughter. She's protecting her like the daughter that she had already lost. And we see Ripley go through so much to save Newt, just for Newt to die right there at the beginning of 3. With Hicks, and I'm a big Michael Biehn fan. I always tend to like his characters. Hicks went through a lot through Aliens. I'm glad he survived just to die right at the beginning. And then Ripley ended up dying. And then Bishop ended up dying. It's not that the movie's all bad. If it didn't kill off Hicks and Newt right at the beginning, if you took that out, it would be a fairly enjoyable flick. It does some neat things. I like it being on the prison. I like the alien coming out of the dog or the ox, depending on the version you're watching. I like how it runs on all fours. That's pretty neat. But like, I always struggle to watch Aliens now, as much as I love that movie, because I know it's kind of pointless. Because every single person in this movie will be dead by the end of the next movie. All of them, all of them, all of them. And it hurts it by extension. I really wish we had gotten that Neil Blomkamp Aliens 5 movie we were going to get. Because the guy who did District 9, however you say his last name, he was going to do basically a sequel to Aliens, ignoring 3 and all the other movies. That picked up with Ripley and Hicks with maybe, the scar on his face right here. We saw artwork of that. Maybe Bishop, maybe a grown Newt. I would have liked and loved to have seen that. That is the Aliens movie I have wanted to see since 1986. And I thought I was finally going to get it. But Hollywood is stupid and hates money. Instead, oh gosh. Whatever his name is that did the first movie, my mind just went totally blank. It's not James Cameron, but whoever it was, my mind just went totally blank. Wanted to do Prometheus. And Prometheus sucked. Oh, my Prometheus is so bad. Not only is the story stupid, the cast doesn't impress me either, but it's ugly to look at. Like, the movie's just ugly. The cinematography for that movie is ugly. It looks garbage. It looks weird. It looks too CGI. It looks ugly. It is not a good movie. It's a very dumb movie, too. Like, I remember watching that movie like, what the heck is this? And don't even get me started on Alien Covenant. I didn't even watch all of it. I read the synopsis and the plot and was like, I had to sacrifice the Alien movie I've waited like over 30 years for, going on 40 years for these. The world sucks. So, I'll probably never get the Aliens movie I want, where Aliens 3 didn't happen, and Ripley got to grow old, and Hicks got to grow old, and Newt got to grow up, and Bishop got to be fixed, which is what I want, and I'll probably never get it. Next on the list is the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I hate them. They really basically ruined I don't know if ruined Star Wars is the right word, but I don't have the interest in Star Wars I used to at all. Like, I used to collect lightsaber replicas. My main channel, my original channel, Probable 1701, was a channel where I reviewed high-end lightsaber replicas that cost hundreds of dollars. And I don't buy them anymore because I just don't have that affinity for Star Wars. And it's basically Disney that ruined it. Not to say everything they've done was bad. I tend to like The Mandalorian. I enjoyed Tales of the Jedi. But I really didn't like the sequel trilogy. I really, really didn't. It kills off all 3 of the main cast. Luke Skywalker by the end of the trilogy, dead. Han Solo, dead. Princess Leia, dead. Yeah, I know Carrie Fisher passed away. She could have recast the role. Carrie Fisher would not have cared. That's what I like about Carrie Fisher. She was a very chill, go with the flow, things don't faze her type person. Like, I literally could see her be like, y'all, I died. Why write the script around me? Just recast. Like, if it was an actress that would have been upset about somebody recasting, I'd get it, why they did it the way they did for episode 9. But Carrie Fisher just strikes me as someone who would not have cared. She would not have been bothered by it. As long as they cast someone to play the character well and the character was done justice, I think she'd have been fine. But no, we got that. And that did not impress me. I didn't care for any of the new characters. I never liked Poe. I never liked... Finn didn't really bother me much. Finn was all right. I never liked Rey. The whole Palpatine coming back thing, which basically is a big flipping the bird to Darth Vader in episode 6, because it makes that kind of meaningless. I don't even go back and watch the originals or the prequels anymore, and I enjoyed the prequels. I thought the prequels were good. Not as good as the original trilogy, although Revenge of the Sith is actually my favorite Star Wars movie, to be fair. But I don't know, it completely Disney does not get Star Wars. They don't. It's very obvious they don't get what makes Star Wars Star Wars. And so now they're trying to pick things from the extended universe, like Thrawn and Heir to the Empire and all that, to try to make us go, ooh, ah. They're basically giving Luke's story to other people. They're giving Luke's ending and Luke's story to Ahsoka and Rey. That's basically what's happening, when it's rightfully Luke's story. The EU was great. The extended universe was fantastic. I loved the Heir to the Empire trilogy. I love the Jedi Academy trilogy. I love several of the books in between. I loved Mara Jade. I loved Jacene and Jana or whatever her name was. And Anakin Solo. I enjoyed all of that. And what we got to replace it with, I don't even consider it canon. I don't. I'll take the extended universe as canon any day. And then last on the list, I want to talk about Tremors. I really enjoyed the first 2 Tremor movies. I really like Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, I think was the other guy's name, Fred Ward. Oh, Remo Williams. I always liked me some Remo Williams. They're great in the first one. It was nice to see Fred back in the second one. The first one is really, really good. The second one's still fun. I didn't mind the second one. It still seemed like it was taking things semi-seriously. I mean, the movies were always a little tongue-in-cheek, but semi-seriously. The third one is a huge drop in quality, but I'd still call it watchable. Just for fun, silly fun. I never cared for the others. I saw the fourth one, which I think is the one that's back in the past. And I think I saw bits of the others, but it just... When you do so many of these direct-to-DVD sequels, it kind of tarnishes the franchise as a whole. I mean, a lot of movies do that. The Starship Trooper stuff that went on too much, the Universal Soldier stuff that won't seem to stop. But I loved those first 2 Tremors movies, and I just feel like the rest are just kind of there. Now, I don't know if they completely tarnished the first 2. I don't know if that's accurate to say, but I think the fact that it's a franchise of like 7 movies at this point means I hardly ever go back to the franchise as a whole. Like, I haven't watched the first or second one in years, and I probably should, because they're good movies. But because there's so many, I'm just like, ugh. Although the guy who plays Bert, Michael, I forget what Michael's last name is. Guz. He's really good as Bert. I do like him as Bert. It's kind of neat how he kind of took over the main character after the second one. He's always good. And he's a good actor. He's always fun in the role. I am completely out of ammo. That's never happened to me before. I love that. But I just feel like the first 2 would be held in somewhat higher regard if the others didn't exist. Although, again, this one doesn't stand as high on the list as the other 2, in my opinion. So that's just kind of 3. There's plenty of them. I'm sure you have some. If you can think of any sequels that hurt the originals, you can comment down below. Now, some haven't. There's some movies that get inferior sequels to where I think the original still stands tall, the Highlander movies. A lot of people might not like Highlander 2, but I still think it has never tarnished the original. Personally, I love Highlander 2, but I still don't think it's ever tarnished the original. I think that's still considered a classic. And I had another one in my head too. You know, some people don't like Ghostbusters 2, but that hasn't tarnished the original. I like Ghostbusters 2, it's just not as good as the first one. And I had another example in my head, and it's already slipped out, but there we go. So I want to know, what do you think? Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. I also have a Patreon. If you would like to support me on that, there's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I have a link to my Amazon wish list down there as well, with all sorts of stuff on it, if you'd like to take a look at it. And if you would like to check out my main channel, Another Sci-Fi Guy, where I talk about all things sci-fi related, although to be honest, it's mostly just Doctor Who, if you like Doctor Who. And most importantly, thank you for watching.